The bodyguard's hand was on Mike Tyson's chest, pushing hard. "Back up," the bodyguard said, his voice deep and aggressive. "Mr. Stallone doesn't want to be bothered right now." Mike looked down at the hand, then up at the bodyguard. The man was massive, 6 feet 6 inches, 350 pounds, a former NFL lineman with arms like tree trunks. He was used to getting his way through size and intimidation. "I wasn't bothering him," Mike said calmly. "I was just saying hello." "Well, hello's over. Move." They were backstage at the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year Awards, December 1988, New York City. A fancy event where everyone who was anyone in sports had gathered. Athletes, celebrities, media. A black tie affair. Mike was 22 years old, the undisputed heavyweight champion. He'd just beaten Michael Spinks in 91 seconds back in June. Then he was the biggest name in boxing, maybe the biggest name in all of sports. Sylvester Stallone was there too. 42 years old, Rocky Rambo, one of the biggest movie stars on the planet. He was presenting an award that night, and his bodyguard had just put his hands on Mike Tyson. In about 30 seconds, that bodyguard would be on the floor. Sylvester would witness the whole thing, and everyone backstage would learn why you don't touch Mike Tyson, even if you're 350 pounds. It was December 10th, 1988. The Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year ceremony was being held at a fancy hotel ballroom in Manhattan. Mike had been invited as a presenter. He was going to give out an award to some college football player. Quick speech, shake hands, photo op, easy night. Mike showed up around 6 p.m. The event started at 7. He was wearing a black tuxedo, a white shirt, black bow tie. He looked sharp, clean cut. This was before the chaos, before the controversies. This was peak Mike. Young, powerful, respected. He was with his manager, Jim Jacobs, and his trainer, Kevin Rooney. They were his team, his people. They kept him grounded. "Remember," Jim said as they walked through the back entrance, "you're here to present, not to party, not to cause problems. Just present and leave." "I know," Mike said. "And if anyone tries to start something, I'll walk away. I got it." They checked in at the backstage area, got their credentials. Mike was directed to a green room, a private space for VIPs to wait before going on stage. That's where Sylvester Stallone was. Sly was sitting on a couch reading over his speech. He was presenting the main award that night, Sportsman of the Year, which was going to Oral Hershiser, the Dodgers pitcher who'd had an exceptional season. Mike walked into the green room and saw Stallone. His face lit up. "Yo, that's Sylvester Stallone," Mike said to Jim, excited like a kid. "Yeah, it is," Jim said. "You want to say hello?" "Can I?" "Sure, just be respectful." Mike walked over, nervous. He was Mike Tyson, feared by everyone, but right now he was just a fan meeting Rocky. "Mr. Stallone," Mike said politely. Sly looked up, saw Mike, and smiled. He stood up. "Mike Tyson, hey." They shook hands. Sly was friendly, warm, not standoffish like some celebrities. "I'm a huge fan," Mike said. "Rocky changed my life, made me want to be a fighter." "That's amazing," Sly said. "I'm a huge fan of yours too." "That Spinks fight? Incredible. 91 seconds. I've never seen anything like it." They talked for a few minutes about boxing, about movies, about training. It was a good conversation. Two men at the top of their fields, mutual respect. That's when the bodyguard walked in. He was massive, took up the whole doorway. His name was Marcus Webb, a former NFL offensive lineman who'd played for the Jets in the early 80s before getting cut and starting security work. He'd been Stallone's personal bodyguard for about a year. Marcus saw Mike talking to Stallone and didn't like it. He thought Mike was bothering his client, thought he was doing his job by intervening. He walked over fast, heavy footsteps echoing. "Mr. Stallone, you good?" Marcus asked, standing between Mike and Sly. "Yeah, I'm fine," Sly said. "We're just talking." "You sure? I can remove him if he's bothering you." "Remove him?" Mike said. "I ain't bothering nobody." Marcus turned to face Mike, looked down at him. Mike was 5 feet 10 inches. Marcus had 8 inches on him and about 130 pounds. "I'm doing my job," Marcus said. "Mr. Stallone's got a lot on his mind tonight. Doesn't need random people coming up to him." "Random people?" Mike's voice got quieter. That was a bad sign. "You know who I am?" "Yeah, I know. Mike Tyson, boxer. So what? Doesn't mean you can just walk up to my client whenever you want." Sly stepped forward. "Marcus, it's fine. Mike and I were just having a conversation. It's all good." "With respect, Mr. Stallone, I'm paid to protect you, and that means controlling who has access to you." "He's not a threat," Sly said, laughing a little, uncomfortable. Come on. Everyone's a threat until proven otherwise." Mike just stared at Marcus, reading him. He'd dealt with men like this his whole life, Big men who thought their size made them powerful, who'd never been in a real fight, who'd never faced real danger. "I'm going to go back to my conversation with Mr. Stallone," Mike said calmly, turning back to Sly. That's when Marcus made his first mistake. He put his hand on Mike's chest and pushed, not hard enough to knock him back, but hard enough to make a point. I said, "Back up." The room went quiet. Jim and Kevin, Mike's team, saw it. They knew what was coming and started moving forward. Sly saw it too. His face changed, concerned. "Marcus, don't..." Mike looked down at the hand on his chest, then up at Marcus. "Take your hand off me," Mike said, his voice deadly quiet. "Or what?" Marcus grinned. "You thinking this was funny?" He thought Mike couldn't do anything. They were at a fancy event with cameras everywhere, witnesses. Mike wouldn't risk his reputation by starting something. Marcus was wrong. "Last chance," Mike said. "Move your hand." Marcus didn't move it, just stood there grinning. Mike's left hand shot up and grabbed Marcus's wrist, the wrist attached to the hand on his chest. Marcus tried to pull back. He couldn't. Mike's grip was iron. Marcus's grin faded. "What the..." Marcus tried to yank his arm away, used his whole body, all 350 pounds. His arm didn't move. Mike was holding it like it was bolted in place. "I told you to move your hand," Mike said. Marcus threw a punch with his free hand, a right hand coming at Mike's head, big, looping, slow. Mike slipped it, barely moved. Marcus's fist went past his ear. And that's when Mike decided the lesson would start. He didn't throw a punch, not yet, just twisted Marcus's wrist, sharp, painful, a basic joint lock. Marcus's whole body had to follow or his wrist would snap. He bent forward, off balance, his face level with Mike's chest now. "You're done," Mike said. He let go of the wrist. Marcus stumbled back and caught himself. His wrist hurt. He was shocked. This boxer had just moved him like he was nothing. "You put your hands on me," Marcus said, trying to sound tough, failing. "That's assault." "You put your hands on me first," Mike said. "That's assault. I just defended myself." Sly was between them now, hands up. Okay, everyone calm down. Marcus, step back." I said step back." Marcus looked at Stallone. He wanted to argue, but he worked for Stallone and had to listen. And he stepped back, but he wasn't done. His ego was bruised, his wrist hurt, and he was embarrassed in front of his boss. "This ain't over," Marcus said to Mike quietly, threatening. "Yeah, it is," Mike said. "Walk away, while you still can." The rest of the evening was tense. Mike went on stage, presented his award, said his speech, got applause, and came backstage. Marcus was there, watching, waiting. Mike ignored him and went back to the green room. Jim and Kevin were worried. "That guy's going to be a problem," Kevin said. "Let him," Mike said. "I tried to avoid it. He pushed it. You grabbed his wrist pretty hard. He's probably pissed." "Good. Maybe he'll think twice before putting his hands on someone again." An hour later, the event was wrapping up. Awards were done, speeches were over, people were leaving. We were heading to the after party in another room. Mike was getting ready to leave. He wasn't going to the after party. He had training tomorrow and needed to get home, get rest. He was walking down a back hallway, heading to the exit. Jim and Kevin were ahead of him, talking to someone. Mike was alone, just for a moment. That's when Marcus appeared, coming out of a side room, blocking the hallway. "We need to talk," Marcus said. Mike stopped. "Nothing to talk about. You put your hands on me. I handled it. We're done. You embarrassed me in front of my boss. You embarrassed yourself. Nobody makes me look weak. Then you shouldn't act weak." Marcus's face went red. He took a step forward. "You think you're tough? You think because you're a boxer that means something? It means I know how to fight. You know how to be big. There's a difference. I'm going to show you what big means." Marcus came at him fast for a big man, trying to tackle Mike, use his weight, get Mike on the ground where size mattered. Mike sidestepped easily, like he was in the ring dodging a punch. Marcus went past him and hit the wall hard. Marcus turned around, breathing heavy, angry. "You're fast," Marcus said, "but you can't run forever. This hallway's only so long." "I'm not running. I'm waiting for you to make your next mistake." Marcus charged again. This time, Mike didn't move aside. He stepped in closer, inside Marcus's reach. Mike's left hand shot out. A body shot right into Marcus's ribs. Short, compact, vicious. The air exploded out of Marcus's lungs. He froze, mouth open, couldn't breathe. Mike's right hand came next, an uppercut that caught Marcus under the chin and snapped his head back. Marcus's eyes rolled back. His knees buckled. All 350 pounds started to collapse. He didn't fall. Not yet. Too much mass. But he was out on his feet, just standing there unconscious, his body not yet realizing it should fall. Mike stepped back, watched, waited. Marcus tipped forward slowly, like a tree falling, and landed face first on the carpet. Boom. The sound echoed through the hallway. He was out cold. That's when Sylvester Stallone appeared, coming around the corner. He saw Marcus on the ground and Mike standing over him. "What happened?" Sly asked, shocked. "He came at me," Mike said simply, directly. "I defended myself." Sly looked at Marcus, then at Mike, then back at Marcus. He's out." You knocked him out." "Yeah." "With what? How many punches?" "2. Body shot, uppercut, that's all it took." Sly just stared, processing. He'd made 6 Rocky movies, choreographed hundreds of fight scenes, but he'd never seen real power like this. Real speed, real efficiency. "Is he going to be okay?" Sly asked. "Yeah, he'll wake up in a minute, going to have a sore jaw and some bruised ribs, but he'll live." Jim and Kevin appeared, running. They'd heard the noise. "Mike, what happened?" Jim asked. "Same guy from earlier. Came at me. I handled it." Kevin knelt down next to Marcus, checked his pulse, checked his breathing. "He's alive, just knocked out. We should probably get hotel security." "No," Sly said quickly. "No security. No police. This'll turn into a media circus. Mike Tyson knocks out my bodyguard at a charity event. That's bad for everyone." "He attacked me," Mike said, "in front of witnesses. This is self-defense." "I know, and I believe you. But the media won't care. They'll make it a story, make you look bad, make me look bad. Let's just handle this quietly." Mike thought about it. Sly was right. The media would love this story, would twist it, make Mike look like a violent thug who couldn't control himself. "All right," Mike said. "Quiet. But your guy? He's done. You need to fire him." "Why?" "Because he attacked me twice. First time in the green room, you saw it. Second time just now. Guy's got anger issues, control issues. He's a liability." Sly nodded. "You're right. I'll handle it." Marcus started to come around, groaning, moving his head. His eyes fluttered open, confused. What happened?" Marcus's voice was slurred, groggy. "You got knocked out," Sly said, standing over him, "by Mike Tyson, just like I warned you would happen if you didn't leave him alone." Marcus tried to sit up and winced. Everything hurt. Ribs, jaw, everything. Did I fight him?" "You tried," Sly said. "Didn't go well for you." Marcus looked at Mike, fear in his eyes now. "How many times did you hit me?" "Twice," Mike said. "Could have been more. Could have been worse. I showed restraint." "Restraint?" Marcus touched his jaw. "You broke my jaw." "No, I didn't. It's bruised. If I broke it, you wouldn't be talking." Sly helped Marcus to his feet. Marcus was wobbly, unsteady, still recovering. "Marcus," Sly said, "you're fired. Effective immediately." "What? Why?" "Because you attacked Mike Tyson, twice, after I told you to leave him alone. You're a liability. I can't have you working for me." "I was doing my job, protecting you." "From what? Mike Tyson saying hello? Mike Tyson having a conversation? That's not protecting me. That's being paranoid and aggressive, and it almost got you killed." "I wasn't going to die. Mike Tyson held back," Sly said. "If he wanted to really hurt you, you'd be in the hospital right now, maybe the morgue. He showed mercy. And you're lucky he did." Marcus looked at Mike. He wanted to say something, wanted to challenge him, but couldn't. Because he knew Stallone was right. He knew Mike Tyson could have destroyed him. He knew he got off easy. "Get your things," Sly said. "Security will escort you out. Your final check will be mailed." Marcus walked away slowly, defeated, holding his ribs. His career as Stallone's bodyguard had lasted less than a year, when it ended because he put his hands on the wrong person. After Marcus left, Sly turned to Mike. "I'm sorry," Sly said, "for what he did, for putting his hands on you, for coming at you again. That was unacceptable." "Not your fault," Mike said. "You didn't tell him to do that." "No, but he was my employee, my responsibility. I should have stopped him the first time, in the green room. Instead, I let him walk away thinking he was right. That led to this. He learned his lesson. That's what matters." Sly looked at Mike with new respect. "You held back. Both times. You could have really hurt him. Why didn't you?" "Because hurting him more don't prove nothing. He already learned the lesson. Why add more pain? Most people in your position would have gone further. Made an example. Made him regret everything." "I'm trying to be better than most people," Mike said. "Cuss taught me that. Power without control is just violence. Control is what makes you dangerous." Sly nodded. "Your trainer was a wise man. The wisest." They stood there for a moment, 2 champions, 2 men at the top of their worlds, understanding each other in a way most people wouldn't. "Can I give you some advice?" Sly asked. "Sure. The media's going to find out about this eventually. Someone's going to talk. When they do, don't lie, don't hide. Just tell the truth. You defended yourself against someone bigger, someone who attacked you twice. That's not wrong. That's survival. Thanks, Mike said. I'll remember that. And Mike? For what it's worth, Rocky was inspired by fighters like you. Tough guys from tough places who refused to quit. Who fought their way to the top? You're living the dream I made movies about, Mike smiled. That means a lot. Coming from you. They shook hands and parted ways. Sly went to deal with the aftermath. Mike went home with his team. The next day, word got out, not through media, but through gossip. People who were at the event who heard about the hallway incident, who talked to Marcus. The story spread fast. Mike Tyson knocked out Sylvester Stallone's bodyguard with 2 punches, left him unconscious on the floor. Some versions were accurate, some were exaggerated. Some said Mike hit Marcus 20 times. Some said Marcus pulled a weapon. None of that was true, but truth doesn't matter when gossip starts. Sports reporters started calling, wanting Mike's side of the story, wanting confirmation. Jim handled the press and released a statement. Last night at the Sports Illustrated event, Mike Tyson was attacked by a security guard. Mike defended himself using appropriate force. The guard was not seriously injured. This matter has been resolved privately. Mike will not be pressing charges. Short, simple, accurate. Stallone released his own statement through his publicist. An altercation occurred between Mike Tyson and my former bodyguard. The bodyguard acted inappropriately and initiated the confrontation. Mike defended himself. I witnessed part of the incident and can confirm Mike acted in self-defense. The bodyguard is no longer employed by me. The statements matched. The story was consistent. The media couldn't spin it into something it wasn't. Some reporters tried anyway. Mike Tyson's violence problem continues, one headline read. But most people saw through it, saw that Mike was the victim, saw that he defended himself, saw that he showed restraint. Marcus tried to tell his side. He did an interview with a tabloid, said Mike sucker punched him, said Mike was the aggressor. But nobody believed him. Too many witnesses, too much evidence. And Stallone's statement contradicted everything Marcus said. Marcus disappeared from the security world. He couldn't get work. Word had spread that he got knocked out by Mike Tyson, that he started a fight he couldn't finish. Nobody wanted to hire someone with that reputation. He ended up working construction, manual labor, using his size for something useful instead of trying to intimidate people. Years later, someone asked him about that night. "Diet's biggest mistake of my life," Marcus said. "I thought my size made me untouchable. Thought I could push around Mike Tyson because I was bigger. Learned real quick that size don't mean shit against skill." You ever talk to Tyson again? Nah, what would I say? Sorry for attacking you twice? He knows I'm sorry. And honestly, I'm glad it happened the way it did. Could have been worse. Mike held back. Could have broken my jaw, broken my ribs, put me in the hospital. He chose not to. That's discipline. That's what being a real professional looks like. Sylvester Stallone talked about it years later too, in an interview for a Rocky documentary. I've been around fighters my whole career, Sly said. Made 6 Rocky movies, trained with professionals, choreographed hundreds of fights. But I'd never seen real fighting until that night. What did you see? Efficiency, precision, control. Mike hit my bodyguard twice, 2 punches, both perfect, both exactly hard enough to end the threat without causing permanent damage. That's mastery. That's someone who's been training their whole life to hurt people but also knows how not to. How did it affect the way you made Rocky movies after that? Made me realize we were making fairy tales. Don't get me wrong. I love Rocky, love those movies, but they're fantasy. Real fighting looks like what Mike did. Quick, brutal, over in seconds. Not these long, dramatic exchanges. Real fights end fast when someone knows what they're doing. You ever talk to Mike about using him as a consultant? Thought about it. Never did. Mike's got his own thing. But yeah, would have been cool to have him help with choreography. Show us what real boxing looks like. The story became Hollywood legend, one of those things that gets whispered about at parties. Did you hear about the time Mike Tyson knocked out Stallone's bodyguard? Yeah, 2 punches. Crazy. Some people doubted it, thought it was exaggerated, thought maybe Mike pushed the guy and the guy fell. People don't want to believe someone got knocked out that fast, that easily. But the people who were there knew. They saw it. Saw 350 pounds of muscle crumble from 2 punches, saw the difference between size and skill, saw Mike Tyson remind everyone why he's called Iron Mike. December 1988, Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year Awards, backstage at a fancy Manhattan hotel. Mike Tyson was having a conversation with Sylvester Stallone. Like just two men talking, mutual respect, mutual admiration. Then, Stallone's bodyguard, Marcus Webb, 350 pounds of ego and muscle, decided Mike was bothering his boss, put his hand on Mike's chest, pushed him. Mike warned him, told him to move his hand. Marcus didn't listen. Mike grabbed his wrist, showed him he wasn't in control. Marcus tried to punch him. Mike slipped it, twisted his wrist, let him go. Later, Marcus came back, attacked Mike in a hallway, tried to tackle him, use his size. Mike dropped him with two punches, body shot, uppercut, 350 pounds, hit the floor like a falling tree. Sylvester Stallone watched the whole thing, fired Marcus on the spot, apologized to Mike, released a statement confirming Mike acted in self-defense. Marcus lost his career, lost his reputation, but he learned the hardest lesson of his life. Size doesn't mean anything against skill. Mike went home, went back to training, went back to being Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet. And everyone who was there that night learned something. Don't put your hands on Mike Tyson. Don't assume your size makes you safe. Don't challenge someone unless you're ready for what comes back. Because Mike Tyson doesn't need to prove he's tough. Everyone already knows. But if you force him to remind you, he will. With precision, with control, with just enough power to teach the lesson without causing permanent damage. That's mastery. That's discipline. That's what decades of training under Cus D'Amato produces. 2 punches, 1 lesson, 1 career ended, 1 legend reinforced. That's what happened the night Sylvester Stallone's bodyguard attacked Mike Tyson backstage. Sylvester watched him get crushed, not destroyed, not hospitalized, just crushed. Brought down, humbled, taught, because that's what Mike Tyson does. He teaches lessons to anyone dumb enough to test him. Marcus Webb learned his lesson in 2 punches in front of Rocky himself, and he never forgot it. That's the story. That's what happened. The night a 350-pound bodyguard thought his size made him untouchable, and Mike Tyson showed him different. 2 punches. That's all it took. That's all it ever takes when you're Mike Tyson. And Sylvester Stallone, a man who'd made millions playing tough guys, got to see real toughness up close, got to witness real power, real control, real discipline. And he walked away with a new respect for what fighters really do, what real combat really looks like. Not choreographed, not scripted, not fantasy, just raw skill meeting raw ego, and skill winning in seconds. That's the story. That's the truth. That's what happened December 10th, 1988, backstage at the Sports Illustrated Awards, the night Mike Tyson knocked out Sylvester Stallone's bodyguard and reminded everyone why you don't test legends